Grafton's log, day 3 of our unexpected journey to the stars. Jack had beamed down to a new planet to investigate the colony there, with his usual diplomatic grace.
I come in peace!
He met a man named Brenner who needed our help. Brenner had sent an expedition into an area they call the Quarantine Zone in search of the map to a spaceship graveyard. Although they did find the map, the expedition leader was captured by mutant savages. Brenner wanted one of our teams to go rescue him and get that map back. In exchange, he would let us salvage parts for our own ship. Good deal. As Jack prepped for the mission back on the ship, things got a little more complicated when Harold the Necromancer barged in to inform us that
It appears that this strange orb of mine that got stolen from me 3,000 years ago, I happen to find in your engine ship room. What?
Needless to say, he was not happy. Thinking quick, I made a deal with Harold. If he joined Jack's away team, he could help them find an alternate power source on one of the old ships, and then we would give him back his orb.
A graveyard, you say? Yes. So he could use an expert in graveyards to go with him.
Just so happens I majored in graveyard.
Jack was against this, but
I was lying.
I have a plan.
so here's the short and skinny of it. A pirate named Yule amassed quite a fortune by luring interplanetary cargo ships to the colony and then shooting them out of the sky. He became more and more paranoid, and in order to hide the loot in his spaceship graveyard, he sabotaged the local air processing plant, creating the quarantine zone and turning the people that lived there into hideous mutants. Brenner wanted our boys to get his expedition leader and the map back to him to make sure they fulfilled their end of the bargain. He asked for a volunteer to stay behind as collateral. The first step was to find a way through the gates into the quarantine zone. Luckily, they came upon the governor of the colony, called Pepsi Colony, holding a debate on whether or not they should open those same gates. The side against doing so was represented by a local professor.
Mutants are mindless savages who will storm through the gates and eat our people and rape our children and kick our puppies. We don't want that.
But no one wanted to argue for opening the gates. No one except for our very own Agent Valhalla. Her argument seemed hopeless at first, but she had a secret weapon.
I have boobs.
And boobs prevailed. However, it turned out the professor was right and mutants did indeed pour out and kill everyone. Oops. When Harold suggested raising Agent Chirpy as a pet zombie, Jack vehemently refused. So, Harold knocked him out and took control of the team. Great. Once inside the zone, they quickly found Brenner's man, Broughton, being tortured by one of the mutants. While Agent Will-O-Wisp distracted him, Jack McChee assassinated the mutant and they freed Broughton, who led them right to the map that Brenner wanted. Their attempts to get past the guards, though, went poorly. They were all captured and brought before the Mutant Council. You see, the mutants weren't savages, but a persecuted civilization of their own. The Council recognized that our agents weren't their enemies and made them a deal. Instead of giving the map to Brenner, they suggested the team find the graveyard and share the wealth with them, so they could drag themselves out of poverty and build a better world for their children. Who could argue with that? Well, Broughton could. He attempted to flee and was killed for it. He imparted a useful clue, though, before he died.
You must know the secret of the elephant graveyard.
The Council told them that if they needed their help, all the agents had to do was shout, and they would hear them. Mutant senses, I guess. After a long journey up the treacherous mountain, our crew found a hidden door that could only be opened by solving a number puzzle. Someone remembered Broughton's clue, and they realized that they had to arrange the tiles so they added up to 33 in every direction. Sounds hard enough, and even harder when a vicious mutant feline kept walking by. It could only sense movement, so they had to keep stopping, until Will-O-Wisp cleverly subdued the creature with kindness and a loving caress. They finished the puzzle and opened the secret door to the elephant graveyard, which was littered not with ships, but with rotting corpses of gargantuan creatures that looked like whales. Harold was a little nonplussed, and a lot pissed off. And it was then that Brenner arrived and showed his true colors. His lackey held our agent hostage while he confessed. He was actually Yule's son, and the spaceships were sentient alien creatures that the colonists harnessed as spacefaring beasts of burden. That's what all those rotting whales were. Brenner demanded that unless they took him away from this planet with his newfound wealth, he would kill Agent Crotchfire.
We summon the help of the Mutant Council!
The mutants appeared with Jack, who'd recovered and joined them on the way. Brenner was left with them. His turncoat assistant Burton switched sides, and everyone beamed up back to the ship. Everyone but the Necromancer. Remember I said I had a plan? Well, Harold beamed down, but I wasn't about to beam his ass back up.
What am I to do with these mutants and this thief and an absolutely useless graveyard of long dead gargantuan, once living spaceships?
I don't think we'll have to worry about Harold the Necromancer ever again.